Ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome to this special show today, Saturday. I want to thank you all for coming and I want to say you're all welcome to this show and God bless you all for coming. And today is going to be a very special show because we know our people have gone through a lot and we are trying to do our best to make sure things get back to normal in the country that we all love, Amazonia. Today, the show is gonna be based on trying to look at those arenas where things have gone wrong. I'll be talking about insecurity. I'll be talking about kidnapping. I'll be talking about other issues that have been going within the struggle. I'll also talk about the Swiss-led negotiation. I will be mentioning about the role of Macron, France, in the struggle. And I'll be mentioning about stuff that get to do with how Africa has been neo-colonized by China, and how we can rejuvenate Africa and Amazonia. So today is a special show because we're going to be talking a lot about most of what has been going on within Amazonia and also the continent of Africa. So thank you all for watching, and you're all welcome to the show, and I want to wish all of you a special show. So stay put. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome to this special show. Thank you for watching. This is ID Man Media, Radio and Television. You're watching live from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'll bring you this issue of kidnapping because it has come to our notice that a lot of people take this struggle for their own personal gain. And we want to talk on this because it's very important. The new administration under President Chris Ano will be working a lot when it comes to trying to move to erase this insecurity, this aspect of thievery that goes on within the Amazonia. People are using this struggle for their own private gains, all the kidnapping that is going on. I want us to understand that it has been time without number we have had the information about the ADF going around to do kidnapping for ransom. We are in a revolution that we are trying to save our people. And where people use this struggle for their own private gain, it lost the raison d'etre that we are in the struggle. I'm saying this because we've seen time and again reports committed by these unknown guys. They call themselves the Atanganji boys or the whatever boys they call themselves, Paul Asong or whatever they call themselves. But these are the guys that go around trying to tarnish the image of the struggle. And we are talking about this because it's very important. Today, I'll be talking about this. I'll bring you this video that shows some fighters who arrested some of these kidnappers, and they were asking them questions. They said they have been sent by Big Number. General Big Number is a general of ADF, and they said they were sent by General Big Number. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to understand that anything that is happening in this struggle is for the betterment of the Ambazonian people. Yes, we are not in this struggle because of anything. We are in this struggle because we want to see our people free. Let's watch this video about those guys that were arrested. They kidnapped somebody who went to, I think it was for a funeral of something, but the guy is trying to go for a funeral and he's been arrested by these reportedly ADF fighters. The question is, why are they doing this? Because people don't understand that we are in this struggle because to save our people. We are not in this struggle to suffer our people. So when you force people who are suffering to pay ransom because you want to use it for your own personal gain, why are you doing this to your own people? That's the question. Why? Why should people be paying ransom? We try to raise money through draft. Draft means that you have family back home, they cannot survive, they cannot make ends meet. So we try to make sure that the diasporans are the ones that are supporting the struggle, not the people back home. The people back home are in war, they are in stress, they have been displaced, some are in jail, some have been killed. How do you turn around and go and ask these same people money? It's so, I don't understand why this is happening. Let's take a listen at this.
Asepa.
Yes.
You be freedom fighter.
Yes.
Your name like who?
Cinema.
You have for you. Wait he?
Ruby.
Hi!
Yeah.
Ruby.
Jesus Christ.
Senior man.
Ruby.
Una no place una dey.
Yes.
Una talk louder.
Yes, we
Yeah.
know.
So una dey in the house of who them?
Bushfallow.
Say buffaloes.
Buffaloes.
Una dey present in the house of the buffaloes. Why they keep una for here?
Go don't go take some person. Big number. Tell say motel person can give. Don't go take the person.
Say who talk?
Big number.
Talk louder.
Big number.
They say me una do ah.
He say mo take some person but can give.
Okay. Ambazonian them. Now that person this way they take am from Bamenda. I'm not gonna show his face.
So in this video, this is what is going on. The restoration fighters have arrested these guys who went and kidnapped some other person for ransom. So these guys have been arrested and they said they were being sent by General Big Number. So this is what we want to fight against: kidnapping for ransom, because we can't be fighting to protect our people. We can't be fighting to remove our people from this endangered species called the bees. You go and instead be asking them, arresting people, asking them for ransom. We have had a lot of calls from people back home about these purported kidnappers asking for ransom. We want to talk about this because we will not be accepting this thing to happen within Ambazonia. The new administration is coming up and Secretary Chris have made it clear we will not tolerate ransom taking in Ambazonia. It will not be. What they are doing here is that they said this man has money and the man has to pay. How do you know this man has money? Somebody who is there trying to make ends meet. It's so preposterous to do this to our own people when you know that these are the people we are fighting to save. I don't understand why this is happening, but this is what we want to fight against. This act of kidnapping. We don't want this in Ambazonia. We don't want this in Southern Cameroon.
Ambazonian then. Now that person this way they take him from Bamenda. I'm not gonna show a face. We don't know he. But he discover say he be innocent. Supreme Commander for ADF, big number, he don't order he picking them say may State and Ruby may they take the power, we come for bury power. Senior man and Ruby may they take the power, can give. So they not get no reason for take the power. And all fighters. Power what will be a problem?
I don't get any problem with any person.
But
they can't hold me, say me they bring me for battle. So I ask and say what I don't do, they show me.
That's the guy talking. Those are the two guys who went and kidnapped that man. So we are doing this because we want Ambazonian to know if anybody kidnaps any family member that is kidnapped, call the IG numbers. Any member of the IG of the interim government, call their numbers. We are gonna find out who is doing that. So any member of your family that has been kidnapped, please call our numbers. We'll be putting our numbers on all the forums and all the, so that you can get in touch with any member of the interim government, so that just in case we hear of this kind of kidnapping, we can fight against it. Because if not, we are killing our own people. We're trying to defend our people, not killing our people, not asking our people for ransom. This is what we have to stop. It has to stop, because we will not have this thing going on within Ambazonia. When people are suffering, people don't have food to eat, and you go and ask for them ransom. We will not tolerate that.
Me say me they bring me for battle. So I ask and say what I don't do, they show me pictures, say some person they go all the way, they talk to me, they catch me, bring them. My picture they outside, say me they bring me. So I don't know me what to do.
who's I come out?
I come out your own day. I can't bury my pa.
You don't bury him?
No, I never bury. I'll move it for mortuary tomorrow.
Okay, now tomorrow, then they kidnap you today.
They kidnap me today.
Okay, pa, we don't hear. So, pa, excuse all the genuine fighters here,
Okay.
because they're not the kidnap. So how will you see the one for here? Senior man and Ruby, they be the kidnappers, agents of the so-called big number. Yes. So how will we decide the video? Big number and number not the pass. You go see the video for any place we see him. You know say picking and day here. He go come himself, he can bait them. He explain the reason why he go instruct them. But later when I wait away, when I get to catch the power. Okay, when I just work and go bait them. Okay, one turn now.
So that's what is happening. You can see they are telling the other fighters that they are from the ADF. They were sent by a big number, General Big Number. We are calling on ADF, the leadership of ADF, to take its stand, because you can't be kidnapping people for ransom. There are many ways you can ask the people for money if you want to prosecute the struggle, not the local population that you are trying to defend. You can't do that, because that's why we are trying to use either the draft, you had the ARFE, you had my trip to Biya. Those mechanisms are where we can raise funds, not the local population. That is what we have to condemn. That is what we don't have to accept, because it just goes against what we are trying to do. So please, if you have anyone that is having issue with any kidnapping, anything, please call us at the interim government. Call the interim government. Any number at the interim government, please. We will find out and we will make sure that the person is arrested, and we have to do that as from now on. No kidnapping in Ambazonia. No kidnapping. We don't want that. That is what is tarnishing the image of the restoration forces, tarnishing the image of the struggle, and tarnishing the image of Ambazonians as a whole. We are not kidnappers. We will not tolerate that in any way or shape or form. Thank you very much. I want to talk about the IDEA incident. the president made it clear that things will not be normal, will not be the same again. And he was saying in terms of the activities that La Republic has been carrying out in Amazonia for the past 5-6 years. You have seen scorched earth policy. You have seen all types of killings, all types of disgusting activities by the military. They'll kill today, they'll make communicate tomorrow. They'll kill 10 today, they'll make communicate tomorrow. They say they have arrested the bees who committed the act, but it's a lie. The La Republic is using that as a propaganda campaign. When you kill Amazonians, Southern Cameroonians, innocent civilians, and you said it was a mistake, for how many mistakes have you done? Have you committed that you have killed so many people, innocent civilians, and you said it's a mistake, and you asking? That is one big mistake that the international community is making. You cannot ask the same people that are killing us to investigate themselves. That is why we are talking about a mediation that not from within us, but from a third party. Mediation is only within third party system. Why is it that I cannot? I'll be very frank with this. The international community has been very, very pushful and supportive of the peace-led negotiation. But from now, I understand it's La Republic that does not want to go for the negotiation, not the people of, not the Swiss or the Switzerland government is ready for the negotiation. The international community is ready for the negotiation, but we understand that it's not the international community, it's Biya and his regime that is refusing to go to the Swiss-led negotiation. We heard from the chief, the chief envoy of the Swiss-led mediation, Ambassador Gunther Bachelor, who informed the Ambazonia coalition team about this, the information of ending the efforts of brokering a peace in the nearly 6-year-long war in Southern Cameroon. We understand that, but our position is about Biya regime refusing to go for a negotiation that will help end the war. Means that you want to use the military option, and the military option means that you prefer to go fight and kill each other when at the end of the day you still come back to the negotiation table. I don't understand how these people are thinking. Do you want to keep killing your soldiers and killing the Amazonian people when at the end of the day this thing will not end without a peaceful settlement? So you, the Biya regime, they think that they will come to Amazonia and just come and take the land and will allow them like that. So they don't expect us to fight back. Anyway, according to them, they are doing a good job. But the president, Chris Ano, has just made it clear that the situation will not be normal, will not be the same as before. So any consequences that comes to La Republic, they should own it. They should not start later to call for the international community to come and settle the matter, because the Switzerland has been there. They are giving their platform for a peaceful settlement, and that is what they get. But this is what we are talking about. That is the Idea power plant. The Idea power plant in Idea, and from the information we gather, the Amazonian Defense Secretary made it clear that it will not be as business as usual. Yes, and they will be using La Republic citizens to do the job for them. That's what it said, and it will not be business as usual. So take note. That is what is going on. The president made it clear that whatever they are doing,
we have cried enough and buried enough of our own people. They will see us. They won't hear us anymore.
It's not like
will see us. For 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, we fought to defend our territory and our people. But going forward, since Cameroon rejects peace, mediation, dialogue, call it any name, we will fight not just to defend our territory and people. We will fight to inflict utmost pain and suffering on Cameroon too. We have cried enough and buried enough of our own people. They will see us. They won't hear us anymore. They will see us. For 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, we fought to defend our territory and our people. But going forward, since Cameroon rejects peace, mediation, dialogue, call it any name, we will fight not just to defend our territory and people. We will fight to inflict utmost pain and suffering on Cameroon too. We have cried enough and buried enough of our own people.
So that's the president.
They will see us.
You've heard him emphasizing about this. It will not be business as usual. And I want us to understand that we are fighting an existential threat. An existential threat not only from France, but other parties. You cannot imagine that the Biya regime is instead asking the Swiss to stay engaged in the so-called national dialogue. What did the so-called national dialogue, the grand national dialogue, brought to the Amazonian people? It brought to them special status. So I don't understand what kind of status is special there. When you are controlling everything, you have you bring your governors, your government delegates, your SDOs and DOs. Those are colonial people. That's why we call them colonial SDO, colonial governor, because those people are not elected officials. You cannot bring people who are not elected to come and rule people in this modern day era. The cities have mayors. The provinces, as they call it, or the counties have the governors. You cannot bring people who are not elected and they don't even know, understand the people in that area. You come and place them there. That's what happened during the time of government delegates. Bring these colonial SDOs and DOs. These are the administration that were used by France in colonial days. These SDOs and these DOs and the government delegate. The delegate the gouvernement. The delegate the gouvernement. What delegate of what government? Elected by who? Voted by who? These are people who just come and spy on the people there, usurp their resources and swindle all the resources back to their own area. So we are talking about this because it is very, very vital that we understand how the Biya regime works. They put these people there to suppress them. The DOs and SDOs are there as arm of suppression. They are arm of suppression. They have one mission and only one mission: to keep the people in colonial bondage. They don't have any other two mission there. So let nobody tell you that these SDOs are their senior divisional officer. I like that name, division, because they are there to divide and rule. That is the policy of France. Divide and rule. Senior divisional officer. Okay, good. Because it's there to divide and rule the people. You see, they'll separate you from the ones that are respectful to the government. And if you are not respectful to the government policy, they will shift you by the side. So they divide and rule. That's why they call them divisional officer. They are good at dividing and ruling our people from days back in the colonial days. It's just the colonial legacy that is still going on. You understand? It's still colonial legacy. People don't understand that. You think that when France is coming to Africa, France is coming to come and do something good, right? No. Macron promised to tell Paul Biya about walking, try to, because of the growing violence, you know, he said he's going to tell Paul Biya to work more on decentralization, not having federation. But that was why we are talking about this fight will only end on the negotiation table with the two countries being separated peacefully. Because you cannot have a country, you wipe out their identity, and you're giving them special status. What is special status? The United Nations gave us special status long ago. We were the status of the trusteeship under the British government. So what other status can you give us? If it comes to names, we have had all kinds of names. So I don't understand if they just see, they just look at the dictionary and look for a word. They just say, oh, this country is good to be called Northwest and Southwest. Or this country is good to be called Southern Cameroon. Okay, let's give them Southern Cameroon. The other one, no. This country is good to be called West Cameroon. Let's give them that name. You just change people's name like that. You just wake up every night and give people different names. When you know that this is a country that has its boundary, it has its anthem, everything. You want to wipe out their identity. It doesn't work like that. You know. This same conflict in Amazonia, it mirrors so many across Africa. So many wars are going out across Africa, and people sit and watch. You know, most of these areas are being controlled by France, and France is ready to do anything to bring in their army of occupation. I tell people Macron's visit to Cameroon was to tell Biya two things. One, to leave the Swiss-led negotiation. Yes. Two, to tell Biya to add some special forces in Amazonia. Those special forces will come and just delete everything. Remember, France has been part of a lot of wars in Africa that has toppled a lot of governments. Look at Gaddafi. Look at Saddam Hussein. Look at different presidents. But today, we still have the corpse of the former president of La République, Ahidjo, still in Senegal. France is one of those supporters of that type of behavior, where they know that they will support any leader that is in favor of them. Any leader. And you want to make friends with France, you have to be corrupt. France will not ever be your friend if you are not corrupt. Okay. Cameroon and Southern Cameroon has never been one. Yes, from the history, the demographics, you know, the Anglophone countries have never been part of Francophone countries. Okay. The different setup, okay, the growing Anglophone descent has been caused by the French leadership style. And we must say this so that when next something happen like this, we have to speak up, because we cannot make the same mistake for the past 75 years. Then we expect different results. It doesn't work like that. I want to play this this audio about Macron, the meeting that Macron held during the time of the Franc-Afrique meeting. you know. Macron promised to tell Paul Biya.
J'ai mis la pression sur Paul Biya pour que d'abord il traite le sujet de la zone anglophone et ses opposants. J'avais dit, je ne veux pas qu'on se voit à Lyon tant que le général Camteau n'est pas libéré. Il a été libéré parce qu'on a mis la pression. Là, la situation est en train de se redégrader. Je vais appeler la semaine prochaine le président Biya et on mettra le maximum de pression pour que cette situation cesse.
Yeah, so that's Macron. That's Macron. Macron.
Je veux juste rappeler à Monsieur le Président que ce qui se passe au Sahel n'est que les conséquences de ce qui a été fait en Libye. Cette intervention en Libye où vous avez oublié, quand je parle de vous, je ne parle pas de votre personne, je parle de votre position. Vous avez oublié l'existence de l'Union africaine. Monsieur le Président, vous l'aimez le dire. Nous sommes au Mali pour aider le Mali. Si nous n'étions pas venus au Sahel, il n'allait pas avoir de gouvernement actuellement au Mali. J'ai envie de vous dire que si ce n'était pas les Africains, il n'allait pas avoir de France aujourd'hui. Nous sommes liés, nous sommes liés, nous sommes liés. Arrêtez de dire que vous êtes venus nous aider. Non, parce que le terrorisme ne menace pas que le Mali. Vous êtes aussi menacés. Arrêtez de nous culpabiliser sur une position de victime.
Mais Adam, je ne vous culpabilise pas.
Monsieur le Président, je n'ai pas terminé.
Je ne vous culpabilise pas. J'essaie de restaurer justement un dialogue réciproque et de respect.
Oui.
On n'est pas là simplement pour nos intérêts quand on arrive au Mali en 2013. C'est un fait. Par contre, ce que vous avez dit sur la Libye, je l'ai dit plusieurs fois comme président, je partage ce que vous avez dit.
That lady is so intelligent. She questioned Macron on the issues in Africa. Macron could not answer. Because France has been one of the #1 cause of different wars in Africa. If France comes to your country and you don't want to respect him, he will bring a civil war in your country. He has done that in many countries. Many countries today at war is engineered by France. And you can see La République, they have a serious war going on because France is backing them up. Macron came to La République capital, Yaoundé. What did he do? What did he say? He just came to encourage his henchman, Dictator Biya, to keep on doing his job. Like he's doing a good job by killing more people, by doing all those things. But as you see, the US has given sanction against most of the officials, senior officials within the cabinet. So whatever they're doing is very, very likely that La République will be slapped with some sanctions in the few time ahead, because no matter what is going on, understand that the world is watching, and the world will be putting all their emphasis on Biya, that sanction is time for sanction. Because when you leave a negotiated peace process and opt for military option at this time of the century, 21st century, what do you think you're doing? Because the world has said, okay, there's war going on. We need peace. And this is a platform that they suggest. This platform will help us do one or two things and so on and so forth. We can resolve this crisis. We can go for real peace negotiation. But like I said, Biya has no case. When you have a case, why should you be afraid of a court? Why should you be afraid of negotiation? Why should you be afraid of anything that has to do with resettling of the problem? If you really want to solve a problem, you will be rushing to negotiate for the problem. But it has shown everything that he's doing is just tantamount against the international laws that govern countries. So we are saying this because it should be noted that La Republique does not want to resolve this crisis. They don't. So don't get it twisted. La Republique does not want to resolve this crisis. They prefer to go for all kinds of method, fooling the people of the world that they are resolving the crisis. But deep in them, they don't want to resolve the crisis. They think that they can win Ambazonians through war, like they did back in the days of the Makiza, the UPC leaders that were kidnapped and killed. But they should know that this is modern era, and in this modern era, people don't do much, people don't say much, but their action speaks. Their action speaks. So I'm just telling La Republique, it's good for them because they started the war. We did not start the war. It's good for them to go into a negotiation process because it will give them some fame that they have done something good, right? But when they not go to the negotiation table, when they keep doing what they are doing now, when they keep doing what they're doing now, they are instead aggravating the situation. If for 5 to 6 years we have not been able to defeat people who are not even having weapons, they're not even having anything, you are not able to defeat them, how do you think you can defeat them now? So he think that whether he called them special forces. So the other ones were not special forces. Stop all these crazy words for special forces, special status, special this. What is special about the status that you are giving us? Are you our dad? No. So he doesn't have the right to give us any status. He doesn't have the right to take out our status. He doesn't have any right to do anything. Because it's not his country. It's not his country. How? Listen to this man explaining to them. It is very important because this guy is telling them how Ambazonians have right to retaliate. They have right to fight back because this is their right. And no one can take that from them. Okay?
En 1972, nous étions déjà nés, on n'avait pas de problème. Nous fêtons l'union avec les anglophones. Nous avons accueilli les anglophones. Comment nous avons géré les anglophones? Prenons quelques clichés. 50 ans, on n'a jamais eu un anglophone secrétaire général de la présidence. On n'a jamais eu un anglophone ministre des Finances. On n'a jamais eu un anglophone ministre des Forces armées. Aucun anglophone n'a jamais occupé un poste de souveraineté. Allez dans l'administration, c'est en 2010.
I can see what he's saying. They don't want to understand.
Mettre un anglophone ministre de l'AT et l'autre ministre de l'enseignement secondaire. Pour croire qu'on va contacter les anglophones. Alors, et vous allez voir que, s'il vous plaît, Duval, c'est très important. Vous allez voir que même le poste de premier ministre qu'on donne aux anglophones, aujourd'hui là, avec la conduite des affaires de l'État, avec la marginalisation du premier ministre actuel,
mon frère, tu as raison.
On se rend compte que le poste de premier ministre est un poste
exactement
vide
ce qui se passe
de toute substance.
Et ce qui a vraiment énervé les Ambazoniens.
Avant 1972,
c'est ça qui nous a énervé par rapport
il y avait au Cameroun occidental
avant.
Une société hydroélectrique.
That is what has been our before when our first
Le référendum
our
de
first
1972 a
people, they
permis
were fighting for federation. Mon frère, tu as bien parlé. Il faut bien conscientiser vos frères francophones. Before, our people were fighting for federation. They were fighting to bring back the stolen federation of 1972. That was before. You had the All Anglophone Conference in the 90s. You had another one. That's what they call APP. APP1, APP2. What was the response from the Biya regime? Nothing. So our people have held peaceful peace plans. They have held all kinds of peaceful ways to resolve this crisis. So people don't understand. They think that people are they just want to fight. Nobody wants to fight anybody. But think of it. What is really wrong with the people of La Republic? That they cannot read simple history. That guy, look at this guy was telling them. This guy was telling them what he knows about the history. Then when you see this, some of them cannot even think that these people have reason. When you listen to some of these, their soldiers that is sent to Amazonia to come and fight and kill, they don't want to fight. They are tired of this fight. They said they are just being forced to come and fight this fight. Because there's no reason for them to be fighting when they know they are fighting a wrong fight. And they are fighting for the wrong purpose. Because when you are fighting something that you know it will not help you, at the end of the day, you will still go back zero. Without any mark. You don't have any result coming from it. Why should you be fighting? That's the question most of them ask themselves, because you cannot come and be fighting in a land that is not yours. They tell you that this land doesn't belong to you. These people don't want you here. Please, pack your things and go. Pack your things and go. These people don't want you people here. How do you want them to say? What kind of way do you want them to tell you that they don't want your presence in this country, Amazonia, Southern Cameroon? They don't want you there. What else do you want from them? Listen to this captain. This is a captain. Captain of the army, La Republic Army, saying that they are giving him 80,000 CFA. That's what they pay a captain. Even if you want to pay people, you will not pay 80,000 CFA to captain of the army. That's a captain. You listen to this captain, then you understand what he's talking about.
Ça va aller. Mais si les francophones ne supportent pas, la pression reste qu'au niveau des anglophones. Et alors, nous sommes obligés de tirer à cause de la menace. Donc, même s'il y a une menace, nous avons reçu les ordres de tirer. Alors, je conseille la population de se calmer. Moi, je peux utiliser votre antenne. La population de se calmer. Nous ne sommes pas venus pour tuer, mais pour calmer la grève. Vous avez raison. Les anglophones ont raison. Les anglophones ont raison 100%. Mais nous n'avons pas le choix parce que nous avons reçu les ordres. Et si on prend en dehors des ordres, on va.
I think we have to understand what is going on here. This is a captain. He's saying that they don't even know why they are fighting. He said the Southern Cameroon have their right because it's their country, it's their everything. They are just there because of orders from above. So when you listen to this kind of situation, how do you sum it up? That's him talking in French. Listen to him.
Ils sont tous partis au Nigeria et tout consort. C'est nous qui avons appris le terrain. Il y a les ambazoniens, les militaires ambazoniens, nous sommes en guerre contre eux. Mais par ton plateau, j'appelle la population de se calmer, les gens qui en connaissent les ambazoniens, de se calmer et de se retirer. Nous ne sommes pas venus pour la guerre, mais nous sommes obligés de tirer parce que nous avons reçu des ordres de tirer. Oui, effectivement, il y a eu des morts aujourd'hui. Il y a des morts
It's just terrible that you just ask people to go to a country.
Oui, ça nous fait mal également.
You go and occupy them and you ask them to leave their country. You want to seize their land, seize everything from them. Then you think that you are okay. Marc Zoro, mon frère, il faut bien éduquer vos frères armés là-bas. Hein. Il faut bien éduquer vos frères armés là-bas. Il faut bien les éduquer. Comment ils parlent? Ils ont armé, ils partent aux nozo, comme ils l'appellent. Ils viennent aux ambazoniens, ils viennent tuer les gens. Pour rien. Et il sait qu'il ne fait pas même les bonnes choses. Il ne fait pas les choses qu'ils ont raison. Il faut, Marc Zoro, il faut le dire. Hein. Listen to this guy. This guy is a captain of army.
Nous sommes obligés de tirer parce que nous sommes arrivés à un point où l'État ne veut pas négocier. Et si l'État ne veut pas négocier, je ne pense pas que moi je vais mourir pour l'État. Et je ne pense pas que mes éléments vont aussi mourir pour l'État. Donc, arrivé quand on voit son petit bout gentil.
Mais est-ce que ce n'est pas donc possible si l'État ne veut pas négocier, vous, n'est-ce pas, surtout les officiers, n'est-ce pas, d'engager un dialogue parce que vous pouvez le faire. Il y a la trêve, vous pouvez dire que si l'État ne veut pas négocier, eh bien nous allons engager la négociation. C'est quand même le rôle d'une armée républicaine.
Exactement, vous avez raison, là vous avez raison, mais ce n'est pas à notre niveau les capitaines, parce que le président a déjà...
That is a question that Max is asking that captain. You know that you are doing the wrong thing. Why are you still there? Why not join voices and revolt against the La Republic government? Why? Why shouldn't you know that you are doing the wrong thing, right? You know that they say you there. He is saying that they don't have voice. They don't have any voice. They don't have any voice. They don't have any voice. They don't have powers that they take orders from the hierarchy. But I want to understand because sometimes people don't know what they are doing, what they are fighting for. This is a captain. He's a captain of army, the B. He's saying that they don't want to fight this thing. They are tired. They want to go back home. Now, Biya is bringing some special forces to come and fight. Because these ones that have been there for 3 years, 4 years, they are tired. They have seen their colleagues being killed. They have seen a lot of people being killed. They want to leave. They don't want to fight this war. It's a lost battle. They know that at the end of the day, you go back to negotiation. So why do you spend time? Why do you spend time talking about that? Why do you spend time on that? You know, the soldiers, they are all tired. They don't want to fight anymore. They want to go home. They said they are tired. Okay. But this is why we are talking about the role of African Union. The African Union has a role to play. There are so many conflicts going on in Africa, but the African Union is doing nothing. How do you expect a war going on in the heart of Africa, but the United States of all, is the one coming to intervene? United States is the one that has given the only sanction on this regime of Paul Biya. The only sanction they have given is visa ban to people like Paul Atanganji and all these guys that they have given a travel ban. They cannot travel to the United States. They cannot travel. And some countries, if they go there, they'll arrest them. Yes, they have given them travel ban. Those criminals there in Yaoundé. So they should know that. But what I want to say is that the AU has a role to play as an African Union body. There comes the CEMAC, these regional bodies you have for ECOWAS, for the West Africa. But I don't understand what they're doing to resolve conflicts, these regional conflicts. Because if they are there, then they don't resolve any conflict. Why are they there? Why are they there as a regional body? that you still have the AU, the UN and US. They will leave South, North American, Europe, they go to Africa to be resolving problems. As if that is what, I don't understand why this is happening. But take a listen at Professor Lumumba. He said AU is just a piece of puppet bulldog. Yes, it's just toothless bulldog.
I just want to know, are you proud of the AU?
No, I'm not.
The ECOWAS?
No, I'm not.
The SADC?
I'm not.
Why, Prof?
Because these are organizations which have great potential, but they have refused to use their potential to good effect. Let me give you an example of SADC. SADC brings together near about 14 countries. There are many issues that they ought to deal with. I want to see young men and women moving from country to country without the requirement for visas. What have we seen? We have seen xenophobia. Right now, there is conflict in Mozambique. As I speak to you now, 50 people are massacred by people described as Islamists. Not a single ECOWAS or SADC leader has condemned it. We have seen what happened recently in West Africa. You know what is happening in the Cameroons. You know what is happening in Mali. You know what is happening in Mauritania. You know what is happening in Burkina Faso. And you don't see them coming out as they should. They have to be prodded to come out. And when they come out, their statements are so measured that they have no impact. And people are being impeded in terms of movement. You saw what happened between Nigeria and Ghana at the Seme border. Yeah. You are closing borders in a world that requires young men and women to move. And if you come to East Africa, the heads of states have been unable to meet. Instead, I see the president of Burundi celebrating that they have now been readmitted into the Francophonie. Can you believe it? In this day and age. So, and the African Union, of course, they used to say of its predecessor, the OAU, that it was a toothless bulldog. This one, I doubt even if it is a bulldog.
Wow. That's Professor Lumumba. That's the almighty Lumumba. If you don't know who is Lumumba, you better listen to that man. That guy is just a killer. He will tell you what Africa needs to do. Yes. It's just unfortunate. You know, I want to really, you know, make sure that we have a very solid country, because Africa is just going to limbo. Africa is not getting its own share, its own fair share. And I don't understand if the AU knows their role to help in conflict resolution in Africa. Because what is going on in Africa is the lack of the functionality of the AU. If they can call AU, African Union, a toothless bulldog, I accept with that. Yes. Because they are doing the right thing, or they say the right thing, but they are doing the wrong thing. Of course, 9 times out of 8 times, they are saying the right thing. They can say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But at the end of the day, they do the wrong thing. They go and do the wrong thing. Okay? They have to know that we are Africans and we need the African support. Because if we expect to have all our, put all our burden on the Europeans, they are tired. They have their own issues too. They have their own issues. As an African, we have to hope for the best, I must say, because we have big dreams, big speeches, and all those things. But if we don't sit back, learn from these countries that were poor back then. Japan, what resources does Japan have? South Korea, what resources? Nothing. Vietnam, what resources did they have before? Malaysia, Turkey, Taiwan, much more. What resources did they have before? Nothing. But go to this country today. You will be shocked of the development that they have. I've been to Japan, I've been to South Korea, I've been to Turkey, Taiwan. All these countries, travel and see what they have done. You know why we are fighting in this struggle to save Ambazonia from the hands of the grip of the French and the Francophonie nonsense. Because there's that conspiracy of keeping African countries in bond so that they will not develop. And that is why you see most of these Asian countries, they were wise earlier enough. They were wise earlier enough. So when you listen to Professor Lumumba, you see his enlightenment, how he is thinking. He wants Africa to stand for themselves. You know, that is what we are trying to make here. Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, is a country that would have been more prosperous than what we have today. But because of the grip of France and its neo-colonial policy, that's why you see countries, especially the French Francophonie countries. You listen to the lady who was questioning Macron. They are keeping these countries incommunicado. They want their resources. Yes. If all these African countries stop giving France money today, man, this France will be nothing. Yes. But I like listening to African intellectuals like Professor Lumumba. He inspires me. Words can't express the feeling I have about when I listen to his speeches, when I listen to him talk, you know. But he's very eloquent. You know, he knows what he's saying. He knows the implication of African countries still relying on foreign direct support, foreign aid, you know. So this Professor Lumumba is a smart, intelligent intellect. He has power of speech. I love him. I listen to him all the time because I learn a lot from the way he's bringing his point, you know, about African neo-colonials, how Africans have to start thinking about themselves, start thinking of building Africa. Because if you leave the world, you see that Africa is going down the drain. Yes. We used to learn of Africa rising. How can Africa rise if they cannot stand for themselves? If they cannot build something for themselves? Okay? If they cannot stand for each other, you know? This is what we have to think to build a strong, solid Africa. And of course, making Africa be what it is. We have the resources, we have everything. Africa is so rich. But why are they building an Africa that people will not be proud of? The leaders have to change their mentality. They change that mentality that only the Chinese or the European can come and build their own country. Yes, there are some good projects carried out by the Chinese. But you see in some countries, the Chinese go there to build and own the properties for them not paying their loans. So they give you huge loans. These African leaders, they will take those loans, huge amount of monies. And when it's time to pay back, they cannot pay back the loans. What happens next? They are being asked to give something, maybe the airport, the seaport, so that they can be running that airport for maybe 50 years. How do you do this? Why do African leaders don't think? I don't want to think that this is the kind of country we'll build in Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. We'll build something different. You have to go to lawful agreements, memorandum of understanding, any type of contract that you're going into, it should be spelled out. You cannot carry foreign nationals to come to a country like the Chinese. They go to a country, build, use their own people there. They don't take the local population to or employ the local population. They don't develop, build schools, local, or the roads, the bridges. That is what they have to start building before they want to start their contract. They cannot come and be extracting resources from an area where they have not build a school. They have to do something in that area. Make sure that they employ the local population. And of course, they have to follow the normal labor laws, not the Chinese labor laws. You cannot come to somebody's country and come and bring your own law and impose on the local population when you are coming to get their resources. So you have to train them. Yes, you can say you don't have local experts. Or how do you have local experts if you don't train them? In America, we have learned that people come to America, you learn IT courses for 3 months. You can be an IT expert for 3 months. 3 months. So how can you train the local population when you come with your companies back in Africa, you come and take those resources, and you said you don't have local experts. You go and bring experts from your country. How do you think that those guys who are there jobless, you cannot train them to do what they are doing? They'll do it. They are all university graduates. They are high school leavers. They are all some are still in the university. But you say they don't have local expertise. So that is what we want to condemn, because it doesn't tell well to the relationship between European powers coming to Africa, especially the Chinese, who are coming with double-head sword. They have double-head plans they think that Africans are dull. But I'm just glad. I saw in some countries, most of the contracts that they signed with the Chinese have been cancelled. Yes. Yes. It's a very sad part that Africa is more capable than being self-sustaining. So I hope that we can get Africa to that, because we have great respect for African minds, but we need to change that mentality of dependency. We need to change that mentality of, I've always found Chinese, very fascinating people. They have great minds too. They have great engineering skills and all those. And some projects are very fascinating too, It helps the local population. But they should also understand that the local population, you cannot come there and be extracting the mines, the goals, and all those things. Then you only think of building the road going to the mines, the railway going to collect the mines. You only think about those things. You have to think about the local population. And that is what we are looking forward in Ambazonia, southern Cameroon, because it's like people don't understand why they are fighting, and they keep using these local people. And at the end of the day, the Chinese are usurping the resources. They are doing whatever they can, and they extract. You go and sign these contracts without knowing what you're signing. At the end of the day, it's a mess, because the contracts are way, 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 way out of proportion. Way, way, way out of proportion. Yep, those contracts. That is what happened, and it's very important for us to understand that, because those are the things that makes the world laugh at Africa for not understanding what they're doing. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll end here for today. I want to wish you a happy weekend, and stay blessed, and keep watching ID Mind Media, Radio and Television. Those watching from Facebook, please share and share and share and share. Those watching through YouTube, don't forget to share and share, and don't forget to subscribe. You hit the subscribe button and we'll be bringing more content in the near future. So thank you very much for watching. This is Fritz Misodi-Macron.